Hey everybody, and today I'd like to talk about something that is a huge controversial topic, and I would like to demonstrate why I think some people just actually get it wrong sometimes. And let me play a little bit of this video, but let me introduce the people that you're seeing here on the screen. On the right, you see Guthrie Trapp. He's a well-known guitar player in Nashville, and he's played with such great players. One of my favorites, Jerry Douglas, who played dobro with Alison Krauss and Union Station. And Guthrie is a fantastic player. I'm not going to take anything away from his playing. And then this fellow that he's talking to, Todd Sharp, is apparently his amp technician, who's also apparently a gifted musician. I do not know his history, so I really can't talk intelligently about him. And he seemed actually quite open-minded. But I think the problem exists when Guthrie is making some statements here that I just think that he's not informed about. And I think, hard to explain this, that I think that he says that this almost becomes the rule. And this is what I hear. So many people will listen to people of Guthrie. He's got a big platform, so he can very much influence a lot of people as far as what they can buy and what they can do and such. But let me just play a little bit of this video and you see what I'm talking about.
What was done that long ago, as
Right.
good as it was done.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting trick. Of course, there's a lot of new modern stuff, digital technology and modeling stuff.
And we're talking about modelers here, just to be clear, where Guthrie professes to be just a tube guy. He will not touch a modeler. He will not touch any of these technology. But what I find interesting is that they will put all kinds of pedals between his guitar and his amp that is digital technology, or even line 6 delay units and chorus units that are the same people that make products like the Helix and such, and think nothing of that. But as far as replacing their amplifier, let me go back into this again here.
Digital technology and modeling stuff, and line 6 makes all this
Right.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
Fender's making
We hate
these.
that shit.
Well, I don't know that I hate it. It's just, it's not me.
Let me play that again.
Well, I don't know that I hate it. It's just, it's
And one more. Catch Guthrie.
6 makes all this
Right.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
Fender's making
We hate
these.
that shit.
Well, I don't know that I hate it. It's just, it's not me, but
Yeah.
And he laughs, but you notice he's a little bit uneasy, but he's laughing because he's actually very serious about it. Let's move on.
Our shop gets all this stuff and we play it, and a lot of times I go,
See, he's just itching to smash these modelers here.
man, this is cool.
Right.
I get it.
Now, I will say this, and then I know we're gonna wrap it up, but to explain the modelers a little bit, because a bunch of guys will argue about the Kempers and the whatever they are.
Whatever they are. And the problem, see, is he knows the Kemper, but he doesn't know Fractal, Quad, Cortex, Nu-X, or Podgo, Line 6 Helix. He just kind of dismisses that. And so it really shows that he's really not educated about this. And so I don't understand how he feels that he's given this a fair trial to make such a golden rule statement. But let's move on.
I don't know, what are the brands? Kemper,
Line 6.
Line 6, all the modeler stuff. Okay, great. But
Okay, great. Big deal.
here's why we don't like it. It's not just that we hate it because we're getting old. It's not that. It's the fact that when you play through those, they're not tracking. So there's no dynamics. So if you're not putting enough output into those, they just stop working. So
Okay, this is where he really gets off track here. And let me back this up a little bit. He says, we don't use them because we're old. So he feels like he's heading off the argument that, we don't want to be schlepping full stacks of Marshalls up and down steps and off loading docks and such. We just want to carry our little Podgo or whatever. And so he really thinks that people are going to go, oh, well, let's play it again.
okay, great. But here's why we don't like it. It's not just that we hate it because we're getting old. It's not that. It's the fact that when you play through those, they're not tracking. So there's no dynamics. So if you're not putting enough output into those, they just stop working. So there's no dynamics. If you want to get really soft with one of those modelers, it doesn't track. And so with tubes, you're able to, you're directly connected to that amp. You're part of it. So when you hit the strings, you can hear everything, and you can get as soft as you want. Roll your volume down, whatever you want to do. And what I've experienced the one or two times I've played through those modelers, which
One or two times. Right there, he admits he's played it through them one or two times. Would he pull up a lousy preset or something and maybe played on an old Podbean 2.0?
of course I'm not a fan. You don't get the dynamics, and that's the reason why.
Okay, and this is where I 100% really disagree. And the problem is, like I said, Guthrie is a fantastic guitar player. He appears to be a very nice guy. But it bothers me that he's on a platform and has so much influence that he's really stating something that's really incorrect. And I want to actually demonstrate using my line 6, and I'm going to use something a little bit even more drastic. I'm going to use a guitar with EMG active pickups, something that normally, if you're really a purist, you would probably prefer something more conventional like a humbucker. Certainly not an EMG active pickup, but I like the EMGs because they're also known for being able to clean it very good. But let me just play this again here.
You know, our shop gets all this stuff, and we play it, and a lot of times I go, man, this is cool.
Right.
I get it.
Now I will say this, and then I know we've got to wrap it up, but
He's got to say it. But at any rate, let me just switch over and you'll see what I'm showing you here with my playing. And I'm going to go ahead and put some titling underneath it while I'm playing, so I'm not talking over the playing, and basically say this is what I'm doing here. And I want to demonstrate rolling off the volume, backing off, hearing the most subtle things that Guthrie is claiming that you cannot hear. That you miss them, and I've turned down to where it's almost totally off, and no, it doesn't disconnect from my modeler. And just to be clear, people do call it a modeler, but I call it a processor. And so the patch that I'm going to show, I just went ahead and dialed up their Fender Deluxe Reverb. And I really didn't do very much messing with it at all. And I put a little boost in front of it to show what it sounds like, how it would take pedals, so to speak. And then I added some reverb for some ambience. And then I wanted to show really how full guns you can go with it too. Now, I want to make one more last statement. I do not want to compare my playing to Guthrie. Guthrie will smoke me all day long. He's a very accomplished player. He does it for a living. I did it as a living as a kid, and I'm just doing it now mainly as a hobbyist and do it part-time. But Guthrie has the chops that I do not have, so please don't get on here and say, Chris, go practice your guitar, or you don't know how to play, or you suck, so you don't even know what you're talking about. I think you'll see that I do have enough ability to play, and that I can show you that there are dynamics, that you can use them both on the guitar, both on the modeler or processor, and achieve exactly what Guthrie says you cannot achieve. And let me switch over to that video.
Cool stuff.
yeah,
Fender's
we
making
we
these,
hate that shit.
well, you know, I don't know that I hate it. It's just, it's not me, but
Yeah.
you know, our shop gets all this stuff, and we play it. A lot of times I go, man, this is cool.
Right.
I get it.
Now.
vendors
We hate that.
making
We hate
these.
that shit.
Well, you know, I don't know that I hate it. It's just, it's not me. But I
Yeah.
you know, our shop gets all this stuff and we play it, and a lot of times I go, man, this is cool.
Right.